You remember in science class when your teacher made you build some weird mechanism to keep an egg from cracking when you dropped it? And then you put all your time and effort into it just for the stupid egg to crack anyway? We're gonna be building a truck that can survive dropping off a 200-foot tall building in one piece and drive it to the tail. However, the rule is that I only have $50,000 worth of mods to do so. And if I can't get it done with that amount of money, then I fail the challenge. The car of the video is the D series, and the building is going to be the decently tall apartment looking building on the bougie side of West Coast USA. So since that's pretty much all I have to go over, without further ado, let's get into the challenge. Alright, so here we are in West Coast USA. As you can see, I'm sitting on top of the building. I'm about to jump off. Alright, well, first of all, let's address the elephant in the room. I've gotten some concern, like on my on a recent video of mine, that well, the concern really comes from me. I remember when I was recording, like, I don't know if it was a backlight from the sun or whatever, but that would like kind of make it to where you couldn't see me. Like I was just like an outline, like a shadow or something like that. But it's fixed now. Yeah, I mean we're good in that department. All right, so first trial in 3, 2, 1. Just jump right off the building, and gonna hit a building. And I thought the car was still functional. Some of my wheels are missing. I guess that's my spare. But still, the car doesn't drive. So that is obviously a fail. Now I gotta think about what the first mod I want to do is. I'm not sure how much it'll do because it's still like a 200-foot drop and all of that, but it could at least add like some cushion, I think. Maybe I'm thinking if I just add a roll cage, exterior roll cage right here, and a bunch of other bars and accessories and all that I can add. Alright, so I have the full cage on, as you can see, and I'm not really too thrilled about how thin the bars are, but a cage like this would cost in the realm of 15 to 20,000, so we're gonna go with 20,000 added to the total, and that would be 20,000 plus 0 is just 20,000. But yeah, I mean that'll do it for this round of upgrades, and we're just gonna see what happens, the car survives or not. So just jump off. I don't know if this is the same angle, but alright, so that was kind of a more shallow fall, or I mean a shorter fall, but it didn't really matter because I don't know if you saw that notification, but the drive shaft is broken. So even if I could get the car over it, which apparently I can't, so that's gonna be a failure. So it feels like a common theme for what's happening is the drive shaft is breaking. So I'm thinking maybe if we put some space between the drive shaft and the ground, I'm thinking that might do us a little bit of good. We got a couple of choices here. I might decide on the Goliath 3-link solid axle front suspension, and I guess we'll go front and rear. Now we officially look like a truck driver. As far as mods go, I think I wrote this down earlier, but I think the suspension would cost, for that one specifically, 12,000 for front and rear. You can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I did my research on a couple of parts earlier, and I think that's what it'll come down to. And we get 32,000 so far. We'll see what 32,000 in mods could do. We got a suspension and a roll cage so far. Okay. So I'm just gonna go right off, and I mean only the rear drive shaft broke, but it's rear wheel drive, so the car's not gonna be able to drive. Alright, so the next thing I'm thinking is if there was less car to crush, right? Maybe like scientifically, like on some like Einstein stuff, like maybe that would lead to the car being less crushed, you know what I mean? I know there's like a tiny frame type modification for this truck. It kind of checks out to me, but I feel like it would be lighter, take less damage. There we go, tiny frame. So I'm not sure why they gave the little tiny frame like the full size parts, but like you see what I mean? Like it's like a little truck, like it might survive, honestly. Cause like I said, like it's less truck to crush. Okay, I gotta find out how much the tiny frame is.
1 hour later.
So we're gonna add $5,000 onto the total, and we were at 37,000, so we're 13,000 shy of that 50,000 total. And I'm praying that the truck still works after I drive it from this building, because to get it on the third attempt, that'd be pretty nice. All right, everything's ready, and go. Alright, crash to a building. And the drive shaft is broken again. Nope. So, I guess logically speaking, kind of on the same like track of thought that I was on before. I think maybe like weight reduction could be a good mod, right? So taking off body panels, doors, and all of that. And the reason I say that is because if you paid attention in science class, force equals mass times acceleration, right? So I'm gonna bore you, but what that basically means is that if I start pulling stuff off, it's gonna hit the ground with like less force. So that's what we're gonna try. And then I actually think I have, well, first let me take off the bumpers. Okay, and the rear bumper. Then we're gonna take out the seats. And I actually have a mod that I had before this that is a weight reduction mod. And the way that I'm gonna do this is I have it wrote down. So I'm only using stage 1 through 3. And stage 1 is 2,000, stage 2 is 5,000, and stage 3 is 10,000. Because technically weight reduction is free, but like it gets kind of crazy with the mod. So go to weight reduction, and to save a little bit of money because we don't have that much money left, I'm gonna go with 2 for 5,000. Okay. So the car is like light as a feather right now. I got the tiny frame, I got the full weight reduction. So according to my estimates, I think we're surviving this one. And if we don't, then we gotta bring out the big guns. As of right now, the total is 42,000, which means I got 8,000 left. And worrying myself again, I think it was over here. And just pray that this works. So 3, 2, 1. Alright, flying out the building and into another building, but it didn't take any damage. Does it drive? No. Now I gotta get into so I didn't exactly make this, you know, easy. I didn't really want to use it, but the way I got it priced again, so stage 1 is, as you can see, the different stages for chassis reinforcement all the way up to near indestructible. Stage 1 I put at 5,000, stage 2 at 10,000, 3 at 20,000, 4 at 40,000, and 5 is at 80,000, which basically means I won't be able to use it. Effectively, we only have stage 1 through 4. And really right now we only have stage 1 available. I guess really all we got is stage 1 chassis reinforcement. And I mean the rest of it we just gotta, you know, pray. I mean I don't really know what else would like help with falling down a building. They don't exactly design mods for that. Maybe get some reasonably priced wheels. It's like the heavy duty 8-lug front hubs. We do the 8-lug rear hubs. And for steelies like those, I think we might take the rear ones off. But for 2 8-lug front tires, that, okay, well not like completely off. 50,000 is a total, totally, you know, unbiased, like scientifically calculated. So this is really it, unless I start swapping out parts and all of that stuff. I have a good feeling about this. Alright, so 3, 2, 1. Alright, it's flipping. Can we... The engine is damaged, but does it still run? That's the important part. But I really do think it still runs, so I'm going to end, put on 100, flip it over, and does it run? It's a moment of truth. It runs. Right into a electrical box, but it runs. That's the important part. And that means without $1 to spare, the challenge was successful. Even if the car looks like it should be like a Facebook Marketplace listing, but it was It was a successful challenge, and that's all that matters. So despite where we started from, the truck was finally able to survive the fall with just a teensy bit of money. And although some might say that we're using the term a tad loosely, the truck did manage to stay in one piece after the fall, and it was able to drive, which counts as a win according to the rules. So please, don't try this at home, but maybe if you have 50,000 lying around and a master mechanic like myself, you might be able to fall 200 feet and barely manage to drive away too. But anyways, that'll do it for this video. So if you liked it, leave a like and a comment, and if you didn't, feel free to leave a comment as well. But anyways, I'm Jeray Jade, and thanks for watching.